Everybody, welcome. Woohoo! Axion Token Live. This is how we rocking the DMV on the Warp. And of course, we got Warp Speed. So we're on day 2 of Warp. Now, this is looking pretty cool. We're going to check out the whole ecosystem like we did for day 1 yesterday. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. We're also going to look at the Axion ecosystem review and check out how Axion's getting on at the moment. So grab a drink, sit back and relax, and let's get into it. That's for sure. Get to the chat. It's going to be pretty vibrant, and sounds like everything's going well with the audio. So we're going to get into that. Let me just double check though. Yeah, it sounds pretty good to me. So folks, get into the chat, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and let's get into it. We've got John Atkins in the house. Hi, Suitman, everybody. Good to see Axion, a token member, John Atkins in the house, representing. And let us know how you're getting on there, John. We're going to go through the ecosystem. If you've got any comments, John, anyone else that's in there, just let us know how things going, and we'll have a look here. So let's go. We're on the official site of warp.bond, and of course we're going to click the Warp app and go into that. That's what we're going to click, and bam, if you do that, it's going to open up the main app. You can this is on the Polygon network, so all you have to do is hook up your MetaMask wallet, something like that, and we'll show up the top there. Very, very cool. It's got the time at the top right there too in New Zealand. It is 1:09 p.m. in New Zealand. So very, very cool. Let's get into some of the results here. This is the dashboard at the top. So there's dashboard, stake, bond, hanger, map, calculator, and calculator there, and communications. So very, very cool. Let's jump to the dashboard. We're going to have a look at the overall. If you had some starships, this is a dummy account, but if you had some stuff, it would show up here how many starships parts you've got and how many bonds you've got and stuff like that. The value of your warp that you might have, that's the main token on the platform. And of course, we're going to have a look at the economic activity. Just let me pull up yesterday. I took a snapshot of yesterday's one. Let me just take a picture of that. So I took it how many hours ago? So this snapshot's about 22 hours old. So 22 hours. Then I'm going to compare the actual numbers that I'm looking at here with the numbers I had yesterday. So 20 hours ago, the current market price is $1,437 per warp token. That was $2,060 about 20 hours ago. So it's come down about $600 since then. Just to be expected, second day, get a bit of profit taking going on. Although the idea of the platform is to bond and typically stake. So most of the stuff's in here. If you got warp, you'd end up be staking it in here. So staked on Earth is where you'd want to do it there. Pretty cool. Let's have a look at the next measure here. What else we got? We got market cap at 2.4 million. Very, very cool. Now I can see this warp getting up to maybe up to 20 mil. That's what I could see if the demand comes in. So just the growth continues. The first day was fantastic. And of course, typically second day, you do get a bit of a pullback, bit of cooling down, a bit of profit taking, and then you can start ramping up after that. So you sort of, we see this a lot in crypto, and no matter what the project is, we get a lot of that sort of stuff happening. The big burst of energy out the front, bit of cooling off, and then a reformation after that is pretty much what we see. So let's have a look at John's got a comment here. I think I see that. So John says, so far I'm happy with Warp as a project. Not so happy with that it appears to take 99% of Axion's team time. I'm far more invested in Axion than Warp, says John. That's a fair comment there, John. But once again, this is where a lot of the dev team are now. And I think probably 2/3 of the marketing team. But Pullen's doing a fantastic job in Axion. So big hats off to Pullen on the leadership there. We'll talk more about that as we move into Axion's review later on. This is day 2, folks, of Warp. Welcome, of course. If you're invested in a Warp, very, very cool. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We will check out the numbers. Circulating supply, 602 Warp. So 22 hours ago, I had it at 457. So the circulating supply is up to 602 now. So there's more supply in the market. That's to be expected with the staking. People are earning stuff there. Also with the bonds, people are getting, when you get a bond, you get your the discount to market. And of course, you get your warp back dripped to you over 5 days here. So it gets dripped 5 days, and you get estimated the warp. Now, obviously, when you bond a DAI token, you lose those tokens. You get warp token instead. Is the way it works. So cool. That's what builds up the treasury. So we're going to look at the treasury numbers. Let's have a look there. So circulating supply 602. So that is definitely up from 457 from 20 hours ago. What do we got here? So Total supply 1,686 total supply. Yesterday we had 2,000. So total supply has decreased. So that's interesting. Total burned is 32.73. And of course, yesterday we had 22 hours ago, we had 26.6. So we've got another 6 warps being burnt in then. So that's definitely slowed down on the burn side. But we're probably seeing some pretty decent stuff at the moment. So cool. Hey, let's got a couple more comments in the chat there. Let's go to that. FBAM says, hey everyone, and hey Superman, hey FBAM, good to see you. Bam. It's been a while since I've got to say that, FBAM, so it's great to see you in the chat. And we've got Immigrant Andreas in the house. Top of the morning, guys. Top of the morning to you, Andreas. Top of the morning, Immigrant. Very good. All the way from Ireland here. We're broadcasting at 9:06 p.m. in the Isle Wales of Ireland or something. I don't know. But very cool. Good to see you in the house. And what else we got? We got total burned. Yeah, so that's definitely up about 6 warp. That's pretty cool. So what happens is the mechanism is that people sell on Sushi Swap. A 5% selling fee or tax is applied to that every time there's a sale. So burn. It's one of the special features of Warp is that it has this burn deflationary function that a lot of OHMs don't have. So OHMs are pretty much based on treasuries, and we're about to look at that next number. So you build up your treasury, and you do that via the bonding. People bond, so they give up DAI tokens, for example, and in return they get the platform token, which is Warp. And that's kind of how it works. And of course, you get a discount to market through bonding, and of course that gives you more Warp. You can then take that Warp from your bond and go and stake it and earn more returns on the planet. That's basically the idea. Very cool. The treasury balance is 1.662 million, and that's pretty nice. Yesterday it was valued because Warp was higher. This will no doubt Treasury have a combination of my DAI and Warp. I take it is what the combination of the Treasury is made up of. And of course, Warp is the my and DAI stables. As far as I know, I think I'm not too familiar with my, but I think there's a stable too. DAI is definitely a stable. And of course, Warp goes up and down with the price. So that would make this fluctuate in the treasury balance. And that yesterday was 1.82 million with the higher price of $2,059 for Warp. Of course, now that's at 1,662. So it's looking still pretty good with the market price down $600. So that actually treasury is looking pretty good actually on those numbers. So cool. Yesterday it was, like I say, 1.8. So actually that's gone up quite decently, taking into account the Warp price. So pretty nice there. Lock value, 865,000. 22 hours ago, that was 941. Obviously reflecting the price again. That's still looking very good on there. Current index is 1.03. Of course, we were at current index 1. So that reflects the staking index base. So 103 is the index base. Every 8 hours, this gets rebased. In other words, what you earn and your rewards get added to your principal in the staking there. Every 8 hours it ticks over. It also does one or two other mechanisms as well, but that's the main one that you would be interested in terms of the rebase there. Obviously, it recalculates the return as well. Obviously, the more stakers, the lower the APY goes down. This was, yesterday it was at 5 million. It went down to 2.3 million. Then someone sold a lot of their Warp, and of course that went back up to 5.2 million. Now it's down here just under 900,000% on that. So very cool. If I recall rightly, I can't remember what it actually started at. Maybe it was $1 billion or something. I can't remember. It was pretty high, whatever it was. Very cool. We got Pinch Me in the house. It's 3 a.m. in Canada. Hey, Pinch Me. Hey, good to see you, eh? Nice to see you. Hey, big shout out to the truckers in Canada. I love me some freedom, and I love what they're standing up for. So nice to see you, Pinch Me in the house. The team really needs to learn how to shill projects and make good products, but really need to advertise this. Well, I think they've done a pretty good job, but it's always working out. But I agree with you. Still more work in that space to be done. And B's in the house. Hey, B, good to see you, B. What's going on, Superman? Glad to be here, guys. Hey, B, good to see you as always. Big shout out. And Pinchy says also, with all the OHM drama going on, how is a Warp different in protecting the pump and dump scenario? Well, we're going to find out. Pinch Me is the way we're going to find out. But they've got one of the big things is they've got the deflation in the house. That should help as well. But they are young. It is young, just being launched. I think it's got a lot of superior features, but we're going to see how those play out going forward. But definitely with the deflation is probably the biggest one I can think of offhand. I'd say also What's another one I'm thinking? I'm thinking also the fact maybe the way they've done the LP. I'm not sure. I think that may be particular. I'm not sure about that one. Let me know. I think that is a particular good feature with the LP. Yeah, I think that's probably the main one there. Obviously, new planets coming out, new seasons coming out, all these partners coming out. There has been a lot of partners announced. Apparently, they're all promoting it as well. So I'd like to see that as active. So let me know if you think that that is active with the partners promoting. It's one thing that they're partners, but that they're actively promoting to their communities, because they've done a pretty good job lining up a whole ton of partnerships there. So it'd be interesting to see that play out, but very, very cool. All right, so that is that. Let us go back to dashboard. Just working through this dashboard. So current index, that's the rebase there. A backing of a warp, $2,760. Obviously, that was yesterday. That was close to $4,000 yesterday, and that is so that's down quite a bit there. And obviously, a big mover of that is the price. Starships, of course, Starships won't open till another 8 days or something like that. So we're waiting for that. That's a big move. So we could see a little lull in the period until that happens. And then we could see another burst of energy. Obviously, they've got some other marketing stuff, partnership stuff going on before that. So it's going to be interesting to see that gap of 10 days before the ship factory opens up. And then a new planet, of course, 2 days after that, Proxima B, I think it was, is coming out after that. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see that delay. And, of course, the way it's kind of a staged launch. So it's not a launch just on day one. It's going to launch, and it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. So it's very early days to make any real assessment, I would say. We're getting the typical sort of price pullback. That's probably all we can say at this stage. We're going to comment on that, though, when we look at the price volume. We've got parts remaining, 28,941. Now, this is a lot more parts than I expected to be remaining, I must say. So it does cost you $250 to bond a part. And it also, the more that you bond, the stronger the strength of that part is. So I'll see a lot of parts coming out with $250, but it's going to be interesting to see that play out. I would actually thought we would have been lower than this, especially with the size of the Discord. So it's probably been my only shock. I expected the price to pull back on the second day, but the number of parts remaining was higher than I expected. I would have thought we would have been, maybe sold maybe 5,000 more of these. So that's it's been good, but I thought it would have been better. So that's why I put that. Let me know what you think in the chat about that number, because it's really a discussion, right? Just going through. We've all got different point of views. Some of you got all different knowledge on some of these things. So let me know. The APY is now down, as I say, 898,000%. Yesterday, this was, like I say, after the big, the person pulled out, and I think I can't remember the exact amount they sold. I think it was 33 or 40, yeah, something. It was somewhere in that mark, or was it lower than that? Can't remember now. But the APY went up to 7 million again, and now it's back down here. Obviously, the more stakers, the lower the APY. And of course, there's still another 8 days before we get that next planet open up. So if we go to the map, we're expecting this one here to come up, Proxima B. And of course, that's still 8 days away. So it's going to be interesting how the yield plays on the value of warp going ahead. Remembering that people are earning warp in the staking here, and also obviously in the bonds as well. So it's going to be interesting to see that. It could be a bit of a lull in the value. Obviously, there's more people coming onto the platform. That's the offset. But once again, the yield's going down. So it'll be interesting to see that. People don't know that there was 7 million% when they come on, though. So there's a bit of trade-off to that as well. So if they see 800,000%, looks good. And, of course, as that goes down. So it's going to be fascinating. The team are going to try and time these. Obviously, pretty cool, but they've already given a signal about 10 days. So, and then 2 days for the planet to launch. So I actually kind of like that phased approach. I think that's kind of cool. It's just going to be interesting to see that play out in the intermediary period, say the next couple of days. It's going to be for sure fun. Let's get into some here. We've got Prana out. Pinch is in the same time zone as me. Hey, nice one. Hey, good to see Prana in the house too. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Let us know how your experience is going, Prana. I think you've got your spaceship, but I guess you have to wait, right? You have to wait. Let me know if you've been participating at all so far in any of the bonds or anything. Solix says, how's it going, mate? Hey, Solix, good to see you. Hey, where have I seen you before, Solix? Where have I seen you before? I see you everywhere. Where are you? Nice to see you, Solix. And Kim says, hi, sirs and also. Hey, Kim, good to see you. And very, very cool. And we've got Pinch Me in the house. How would you spend 1K on Warp? Just stake or bond first? Well, you know, I think that you're going to get a discount to market, but I would say you could just, if you've got a falling price, you're better off to stake. Is the way I'd put it. You'd buy warp and stake if you think the price is going to go down greater than 10% or 15%. Here's your discount to market in the bonds: 9%, 10%, 10%, 15%. Obviously, you've got to do the LP through the platform, and then you're swapping over the LP to the platform as part of the Treasury in return for warp. So you could do that, and then you get the warp over 5 days, but you got price risk over those 5 days. So you might be better off in some regards if you think the price is going to go down further to actually stake. So you don't get the discount, but you're able to pull the price out maybe. But then once again, you know, it just depends how far you think the price is going to go down as opposed to the bonds. But obviously, if there's more people coming on the platform, they're going to want to buy warp. They're going to want to get into the bonds. So it's a little bit of a give and take on that one. So you're probably better off in the bonds at this stage, especially in 8 days' time. You got the ships factories opening up. So if we go to the hangar, you're going to manage your starships. You're going to be able to manage your fleet. You're going to be able to build a starship. This is going to open up to start the factory. That's not open yet, so offline. And of course, the fuel center is going to open up too, I imagine, into the fuel cell. Fuel cell not online yet either. So that's going to be opening up new API on the planet. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Let me see what in the chat people think in the chat. Prana says, hey, good to see it. And Solex is laughing. Yeah, that's right. You got it. And DCA at Pinch, DCA. Yeah, that's the other place. It's just the DCA, dollar cost averaging, maybe into the bonds on different prices. And Kim says, all in, loan if needed. Nice one there, Kim. And John says, I have to go, Superman. Thank you for this. I'll watch later. Bye all. Hey, John, take care. And we'll catch you again soon, John. I really want to follow John's that you experienced. So cool. Kim says, as they say, if it's too good to be true, get in before you miss out. And Prana says later, John. Very cool. All right. So, yeah, nice one on that. So, obviously, when you go in here, you're going to get discount to market on warp. So, you're going to get a cheaper price. So, the bond price is going to be $1,250 versus the warp price of $1,436. So, that's going to give you a nice discount. And then the market price would have to go below that for you to lose your extra warp. And then, of course, once that you get dripped out all the time, you can actually claim it anytime and then put it into the stake here. And you can stake it here, obviously, and it will show up here. You'll get your next reward every 8 hours recalculated. You can see the ROI for 5 days, 13%. So you could do that. The other way, of course, is that you're fully committed on this, but you can DCA if you want to do a certain amount each day, like $250 each day, for example. The other one, of course, is if you did staking, you just buy it on the market, you wouldn't get the discount, and then you would start earning the same reward. So you miss out on the extra 15% that you get into the bonds, but you are able to take out your whole principal of warp out if you so choose. If you want to try and spec, if you think price is going to go down too far, you could switch it back to DAI, let the price fall, and then buy back more warp. So you start to speculate on the trade there. So maybe DCAing on the bonds is a better metric there as well. Especially if you do the warp DAI LP, you get 15% on the discount. That gives you a bit more buffer there. But then DCAing on top of that's pretty good. So I like Prana's idea on that. Very, very cool. Pinchme said, good idea. I was thinking 250 times 3 bonds to also get NFTs. Hopefully make a shipyard and other 250 to stake. NFTs are extra, right? So the NFTs you get as a bonus. So when you do a bond, here, you get an NFT with it. So you have to do $250 for it to qualify. If you've got $2.50 or more, so when you decide to put in $2.50, $250 or more, this will change to yes. So which means you're going to get a bonus NFT, and of course your NFT will show up in the hangar here. So it'll show up in the parts here, and you'll have NFT coming here. You can actually then go into OpenSea. You can either trade that if you want, try and sell it for some DAI or something like that. And then, of course, you can try and recycle that back into warp and then buy some stakes. You can do that mechanism, or you can just try and get your parts for your whole ship and then have your ship ready for when the next planet opens up on Proxima B, which will be this one here. And then it will have a high APY, and you've got a race to get there. with everybody else. And obviously some ships are going to be faster to get there than others. So it's just going to be the way, depending on how much you bond. So if you bond higher amounts rather than just 250, if you do, some people are doing huge amounts, 3,000, 5,000 for pieces. Their ships could be super fast and probably maybe carry more stuff. There's different better, different features to that. So it's the way to go. Kim goes, I've never managed to sell any of my NFTs. That's a good sign of a good, strong bear market, I guess. That's true. So what I was going to say was that if you're selling NFTs around 50, like let's say you had a $250 bond, you're selling NFTs around 40 to 80 bucks, you'll probably sell those fairly quickly. Like you probably will sell those. There's probably some people, there'll be a smaller market of people looking for the high strength NFTs, which means that they have to search way further down through the OpenSea. But that's definitely possible on OpenSea to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much how that's happening. Obviously, opening up this builder starship, that's going to be huge when it opens up in about 8 days' time. That's going to be really, really awesome. And of course, all that sort of stuff is going to happen. You got to actually build the ship, of course, and then get it, send it on to, then select the planet, and then send it on its way. So select the starship and select the planet, and then you're going to have to travel there. So there'll be a bit of travel time on that as well. So that's something else. You're also going to probably need some fuel, more fuel over time as well for APY, but pretty cool. Most people are probably sitting in here. So we see the TVL locked, total value locked here, $864,000 US in here. And the APY is up slightly to 900%, so it must be a little unstaked there as well. So a little unstaked will increase that. There's 3 hours and 9 minutes till the next rebase. As I say, the rebase is basically for most people is this when this reward here gets added to your staked amount of warp here. So very, very cool. And you can see your yield, your reward percentage here. So really is pretty neat. So when you get the bond, you're going to get a discount to market. Plus, then as it gets dripped to you, you can claim it in real time at any time. And of course, you can then stake that stuff and then try and get higher yield in here. So there's 2 ways of doubling up the yield there. And yeah, like I said, I do like Prana's idea, maybe DCAing with the price, the bond price. We just don't know. Sorry, the warp price. We just don't know how that will play. Obviously, a lot of us expected it to cool off after the rise. So that did happen. Pretty cool. So I think we've gone through all the list here. Obviously, we're waiting for the second planet to open up in about 8 days' time. Nice. And I think that's the highlight there. There is a calculator, of course. You can use that to try and work out what you can try and earn there. Obviously, it's quite speculative. Once you start getting further out in time, it gets more speculative. And, of course, the price of warp is also going to change. So there's quite a few variables there on how much warp you've got staked. And, yeah, the maps looks pretty cool. Wait for the next planet. That's what we're waiting for. We've got Earth in the house at the moment. So very nice. All right, so let's have a look here. So if you've got a spaceship traveling en route, it will show up here, starships in transit. So it doesn't show anything once you've sent a starship on its way to a new planet to get that high APY. It's here, so it's pretty cool. Now, obviously, if all the ships go over to the new planet and Earth gets left alone, the APY is probably going to be better kind of thing. So you've got to play a bit of strategy there to go to the best place where you think APY is going to be as you're going forward. So that's going to play out over time. Very, very nice. Pinch Me says, can I also recycle the $250 every week for more NFTs? No. So once you actually bond, you lose that token. So if you bond DAI 250, you're actually giving that stuff to the Treasury. And of course, in return, you're getting warp at a discounted price. So basically, when you do a bond, you're actually buying warp, but you're getting it at a discount to the market rate. So you actually lose the DAI that you bond there, but you gain the warp, and the warp changes around in value. The DAI is a stable coin, so it doesn't change. It just builds up the Treasury. And that's the idea of an OM, HOM, is that it's based on a Treasury. That Treasury grows over time typically, and that makes the project stronger over time, because you're kind of people, when they get into OM projects, they typically speculate the price up. That's what we saw in the initial OMs. This one here is a bit more different because it's got game DeFi finance with DeFi, so it's a bit of a mixture of both there. And it's got some special features such as deflation, which the other OMs don't apparently have. So that makes it stand out as well. Obviously, it's also got seasons. It's going to be season 1, season 2, season 3, etc. There's all different launch partners with these seasons as well. And there's only, I think there's only going to be, I'm just trying to remember how many planets. I think there's, I can't remember what Joel said, 4 planets or 6 planets, something like that, 4 planets in season 1, I think. So cool. Solix says, my 3 ships are waiting to build. Oh, nice one, Solix. Sounds like you're set up really nice with 3 ships. Very, very cool. Brown says, oh, snap, we got a recycler. Yeah. We got a recycler. And Kim says, yeah, lower my asking price for NFTs. Yeah, so you can try and, when you get your bonds, you get an NFT. You can trade that for more DAI. And if you've done, like, instead of you holding for parts for a ship, you could actually trade that and try and get more DAI and just stake the warp. You don't have to get the spaceship thing. You can play for that. But obviously, if you're going to go to a new planet, you're going to need a spaceship to get there and to be able to get that APY. So you can play that in the short time while we're on Earth, but that over time, that might be an inferior plan. So we'll see. I think there's still a lot of parts to come out, though. This with the fact that we've got so many parts left, it's going to be interesting to see that play to enter the market. Once all parts are minted, that's it. That's the end. But I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be over multiple seasons, how that's played out. I've got to rewatch Joel's video, but I think that might be in total. And therefore, once that all happens, you're going to be competing to buy those on the OpenSea. And of course, you're going to need fuel tanks as well. So fuel tanks will be probably infinitum, people trying to buy those. But once the parts and the ships are done, it's done. So we're down to 28,939 parts remaining. So that's probably the key thing that's going to eventually lead to some scarcity regard to ships and stuff. B says, I just need an engine and fuel cell to have a ship. Nice one, B. And yeah, so you're not too far away. 5 planets per season, says Solix. Yeah, 5. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember whether it was 4 or 6, and it was actually 5. So thanks, Solix, on that one. Big shout out. So 5 planets in the season. So if we go to the map, we're going to have 5. So we've got 3 here and 2 here. So I guess we're going to be able to move this around. So very, very cool. So that's how it is. It's pretty interesting. Let us go to the market price. We're going to have a look at there. So this is so classic in crypto, as you guys all know. You guys are all seasoned pros in crypto. This price chart, full on bullish. We got maybe a bot or a large whale or something managed to pick up heaps of warp here. Maybe it was someone on the team. I don't know. And then of course the price ramped up, bam, all the way up to here. We got up to 2,300 but of course on CoinGecko it shows us 3,250 was the high price. I'm not sure why it doesn't show on Dex Tools here, but maybe they started talking about it a bit later or something. And then of course we've just come down here with some selling off. We haven't got that much volume down here. The volume's not relative to this. So let me have a look there. This volume's 60,000, 31,000. So just some modest volume actually. And then we've just had some small amounts of volume. 16,000 not too small, but it's definitely tapered off there. So we got on the hourly here. Let's do the actual results here. It's very hard with this chart because doesn't seem to have the all-time high there with the 350. So I'm a little bit dubious about using it. Let's see what happens there. Maybe 23, 24. So 24, we're up 24 days, the first day here. And of course the volume that we had was pretty cool, like $2 million or something it says on here. So let's actually go to the daily check candles. We only have 2 candles there. Yeah, 2 candles. The first day it says on Dex Tools, so I have to double check this on CoinGecko probably. But this got 2,085,000 on day 1 was the volume. This is very important because it does impact momentum and the price. And then today so far, which is only partway through, is 275,000. It says at the moment on to the current candle. So let's break that down to hourlies and see how many hours we've got on today's candle so far. And it's 10. So, we're 11 hours into today from the looks of it, based on the price chart I'm talking about. So that would make, half a day. So we might end up over 500,000 from the looks of this. So that's maybe 25% of the volume. So it's going to be interesting to see the volumes over the next few days. Typically, you have a big rise in volume and then a cool-off period. But, of course, this is a staged launch. So we've got in about 8 days' time, we've got the factories opening up and we've got more marketing, more communities coming in. So it's going to be interesting to see that play out for sure. Prana says, I think they will have new ships for Season 2. Yeah, that's what I understand, new ships for Season 2 and no doubt new planets as well. Prana says, but if they sell out in Season 1, then you'll have to wait for Season 2 or try to buy them on OpenSea. Yeah, and that's what you want to get a bit of scarcity into the market for that. Pinchme says, I like the fuel cell idea being unlimited active buying in the system to fly around. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the prices of those going to be. So unlimited in NFTs, but you still have to bond them. You still have to bond. And that builds up the reserve over time. So the Treasury should just keep climbing over time, especially as more people come in and more activity happens. As more people catch on about it, because it is a pretty cool DeFi, GameFi setup. So it is pretty spectacular. If you see a lot of other platforms, this is a lot more exciting than most of those. But it is about attracting new people, and they seem to be doing that pretty well. So that is what's happening there at the moment. Let's have a look at the overall numbers. We've got total liquidity 1.3 million still. So that's still looking pretty good. I actually think I have a, let me see if I've got that number snapshotted at the moment. Not sure if I've got that number. No, I don't have that number at the moment. So cool. I will take a snapshot of this value for tomorrow if I talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, we've got 1.3 million in liquidity. Daily volume, daily volume here, which is probably a different time frame. It's got $427,000 so far. So that's tracking pretty well. I think it's probably maybe a rolling day. Yeah, it's a rolling 24 hours compared to the candle that I was using. So on the rolling 24 hour, we're still benefiting from the first day, and it still shows up at 427,000. But as I said earlier, we're actually on the last 11-hour basis, where I think we're down to about 275,000 so far. So that might get to close to 500,000. So we might stay around 500,000. That'd be not too bad actually for a second day. And then what else we got on here? We've got the circulating supply of warp 1685. It says 1 ETH will get you 1.6691 warp, and the market cap 2.4 million. So not too bad at all. See, we're seeing a bit of selling here at the moment, going through 1.8, 1.9, 1.62. So there's a bit of selling going on in there. So you really need that to turn around to get the price moving back up. So quite a bit of selling in there today, profit taking. So we'll look to see whether that starts recovering, because yesterday we were seeing the opposite. Remember, we were seeing a lot of green buying. You see back here, a lot more green buying. So we'll be watching that pretty closely to see how that plays out at the moment. So cool. So this, yeah, because obviously the cheaper the warp here, the more you're going to be able to pick up, right? So take that into account. So definitely need more people coming in, what I would say. Nice. All right, so let me have a look here. I think we're on here. I don't think we've got any announcements today on warp. Let me have a look. We're going to check that out. No announcements today. Oh, this is what the highlight was. Let me play this. This is really cool. I'm going to play this. So let me just jump out of here for a second, and I'm going to pop back in with this video. This is so great. Despite the fallout, warp had a significant growth. It did. I suggest you buy warp ships at OpenSea. Yeah, quite a few people are doing that. Mohammed, good insight there. Let's. I'm just going to pop this out. Let me just be back in a second. All right, so we're going to play this video. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. This is really cool. All right, we're going to wait for that to load up a bit. It's taking a little while to load for some reason, not sure why. But this is huge, folks. Message to warp captains from Jonathan Frakes. And this is unbelievable. This is one of the most well-known Star Trek personalities. And, of course, this is Captain Riker from the New Generation Star Trek series, giving a shout-out to all the warp captains in this ecosystem. This is huge. I do hope that they shill the heck out of this on Twitter and other places, because this is really big. So very cool that they got this. Very hard to typically get these, so nice.
Greetings to all the warp captains out there. It's Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker from Star Trek, The Next Generation, or if you happen to be watching Picard.
So that's pretty cool. I've got to let it load up. It's taking a little while to load up for some reason, but man, that is so cool. So we're going to wait for this to load up a bit more and play out some more of this stuff. So Solix says, how did Jonathan Frakes knows warp? I did not know. Joel said it was pretty awesome. I'd like to know the backstory. I mean, this is massive to get a personality like this inside the project's pretty outstanding. And maybe Joel has connected from his Hollywood days. That would be it, because Joel was in the Hollywood movie making. So definitely the case there. Very cool. And nice. So yeah, very cool stuff there. Let me just keep playing this part.
Captain Riker. Commander Riker from Star Trek, The Next Generation, or if you happen to be watching Picard, Captain Riker. And from one captain to another, I'd like to wish the warp captains all the best on your launch day. Don't forget, if you're going.
So that's still loading up there a bit. Let me just keep loading that because I want to play it from the best part. So nice. It's actually quite a decent lengthy upload. So it's pretty good. I'm ashamed that it's taking so long to upload on here, but don't know why. Let's have a look. Let me play it back from here again.
Captains out. Commander Riker from Star Trek, The Next Generation, or if you happen to be watching Picard, Captain Riker. And from one captain to another, I'd like to wish the warp captains all the best on your launch day. Don't forget, you're going where no project has gone before. See what I did there? To the stars and beyond.
So we'll just wait for that load up. But Marcus says that's a cameo that anyone can pay for. It may very well do. Some the Hollywood actors may do the cameos, but how cool is it, regardless if it is a cameo rather than someone that Joel knows? But it's a very, very cool thing. And nice, super nice touch for the community.
This is a fascinating project. Good luck. May you all.
Yeah, I like the old Vulcan. He's got the whole Vulcan thing, so that's
live long.
Shame about the load. Sorry,
May you all.
For the load up.
Good luck. May you all live long and prosper. Stay safe. Red alert. Good luck. May you all live long and prosper. Stay safe. Red alert. Shields up.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's taking so long to 6 7 megs. Sometimes it does take a while to load on these things, so I don't know why. But
may you all live long and prosper. Stay safe. Red alert. Shields up. Arm the aft photon torpedoes. Engage.
God, we're so close to the end there. So nice.
Pins out there. It's Jonathan Frakes.
Watch it one more time. So cool.
Commander Riker from Star Trek.
Still buffering. I don't know why it's buffering. It's crazy.
Arm the aft photon torpedoes. Engage. Congratulations, captains. Enjoy. Congratulations, captains. Enjoy.
So there we are, folks. It was full on buffering, but we got there in the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was pretty cool, I thought, regardless of whether it was, one of those paid ones. But Marcus says, I'm really bullish for this. I love the NFT. Yeah, it's pretty cool, Marcus. And, okay, bonding like crazy, 1 to 2 bonds per day. Man, Marcus is going for it, killing it out there. Big shout out to Marcus there. Man, you are DCAing that perfectly. Very, very cool. Let me just get out of here. I'm just going to pull this one off. Be back in a second. Right, so I'm back. Was that a second? That was probably a bit longer, but there we are. So we're going to get out of there. That was, unfortunately, I thought that was going to play a lot smoother than that. And that's what happened. So there we are. All right, so looking interesting there, 1,432. We'll see whether it gets a nice little rebound. Obviously, with new investors coming in, can help lift that as well as people DCAing in as well. So very interesting stuff. All right, nice. So So I'm going to take a snapshot of this for tomorrow. We'll probably keep another eye on that for a few days. Very, very cool. All right, so I'm going to jump over to there. I think we've got the announcements. Yeah, that was the big announcement, was that John Frack thing. I think that was pretty awesome stuff. And hey, Star Trek is letting us captains go out to, to boldly go, as it were. It's very, very cool. Let's have a look here. Let's jump over to, I'm just going to bring over to Axion now. We're going to check this out. So if you're new to Axion, check out Axion.network. Of course, this is a certificate of the blockchain. You stake Axion, you earn wrapped Bitcoin dividends. The main platforms is the accelerator and the collider. You buy and stake in one go on the accelerator. And of course, you win a bonus particle NFT. You can put it in the collider and you may get up to 10x your original investment if you're lucky. So it's a 4% chance of winning that. Very, very cool. If you want to get into that, of course, get into the Axion portal. If you've got any more questions, get into Telegram or Discord, and 24/7 help there, which is the best in crypto for sure. So we're going to jump over to the Axion portal and look at the ecosystem at the moment. We're going to get into that. So here we are on the main page. So far, you start off every day with 375 million Axion in the pool. Currently, 14% has been sold. The bonuses have been rewarded, and it's at 11 hours and 33 minutes to go until it recharges. Very nice in there. Let's have a look at the overall results at the bottom. So far, 57.3 million Axion's been sold. That's $2,327. It's pretty good. The Axion burned is 29 million. That's $1,182. That's pretty good. Wrapped Bitcoin paid to stake is $645. So far, tracking pretty nicely. People have used Matic, Wrapped ETH, USDC, and Wrapped Bitcoin to buy and stake in one go. That's all you have to do. If you're happy to do that, you've done the investment due diligence, just connect your wallet, click advanced, put in the coin that you want to use. This is on Polygon as well, just like Warp. So Matic, Wrapped ETH, USDC, DAI Stable, Wrapped Bitcoin, or Chainlink. And then, of course, just put the amount that you want to invest. That will all show up down on this side of the ledger. And then what determines your bonuses is 4 different rewards. And, of course, the longer you stake, the better. So if you stake between 120 days and 349 days, you don't get any bonuses per se, except for the Wrapped Bitcoin divs and the particle NFT. But if you stake for 350 days longer, every year that you stake, you get more rewards. So 1% through the accelerator. So if you do 1 year, you get 1% through the accelerator, 2% for 2 years, etc., all the way up to 15.2 years, you get over 15% there. So that shows you here 350 days is basically the lowest period that we get the bonus, got 1%. If you do 5 years, say 1750 days, you will get 5% and so on. So every year that you add up is the max. So cool. So if you did 5 years, you get 5% bonus through the accelerator. You'd get all the big paydays. There's a big payday bonus for stakers in the next 4 years. So you get all of those. Very cool. And then, of course, you get a particle NFT, which you can use to try and win up to 10 times your original investment. So the original investment here is $820. There is a maximum, of course. That is 50 million Axion. So the maximum you could actually win is $2,229. So that's pretty cool. I saw someone yesterday or day before get rewarded one of these. They got one of these. I'm not sure whether they won or not. But they definitely got one of these 50 million Axion particle NFTs. Pretty cool. And that's the sort of the max you can get. So pretty nice. And on top of that, of course, you earn Wrapped Bitcoin dividends in real time, and you can withdraw those as you like. So you can get maximum APR up to 47%, but that does assume that the accelerator sells out, and also that the percentage is the same when they community vote. So cool. Just trying to think something else. Oh, and also depends on how long that you stake for as well, because you get over 305% more shares when you stake your Axion. That's what you get. So that's pretty much how it works. So everyone's trying to get as many shares as they can by staking longer, because longer pays better. That's pretty much it. So hopefully that's a good summary there. Once you get your particle NFT, it will show up on the NFTs page over here. And once you get your stake, after you've bought and staked in one go, your stakes will show here. You get your wallet there, your amount of shares here, and your stakes will show below, as well as your Wrapped Bitcoin divs, which you can withdraw at any time. And of course, it's super cheap on Polygon, super cheap as chips. So very, very cool. If you want to use your collider that's sitting here, your NFT collider will sit here. That's going to get you a chance to get a bonus stake, and that could obviously, give you a huge X return on your original investment. You just put it in here. You also get to influence the benefits by staking long, of course, and of course, then you can engage the collider you got a 4% chance of winning. And man, if you win, that's a pretty cool return on investment, maximum just over $2,000 at the moment. So very, very cool on there. Those are the 4 main things. Obviously, being a staker in Axion, you also get a chance to get access to some of the big launches. And of course, the last one happened to be Warp, which we've just talked about. So very, very cool. And yeah, you get access to some pretty cool projects. Now, there is 2 big projects coming up. One of them, apparently, if they do seal the deal, is a big household name that wants to enter into crypto. So that could be ginormous for Axion. Could be a very good time to join. So definitely worth checking out with Pullen, the marketing director for Axion, on the Axion Discord. So that's pretty cool play to go. So looking forward to these. These pretty much give you that early access with potentially good upside as well. Let's jump over to the dashboard. See how the Axion ecosystem's going. We've got 334.2 billion total staked at the moment. Circulating supply 81.3 billion at 24%, and of course that includes the team's dev wallet, which is over 10 billion, I should say, Axion. So really, it's sitting around 71 or something like that. Total stake is 76%, 252.8 billion. The stake for max shares. These people have staked 15.2 years, folks. 49% of Axion stakers have staked that long for 15.2 years, as I say, because when you stake your Axion, you swap your Axion over for shares, and the more shares you have, the more of the rewards you get. And of course, if you stake 15.2 years, you get over 305% more shares. That's like a 3x in shares, and that gives you much more of the wrapped Bitcoin dividends and so forth. So it's pretty nice. Total Axion burned, of course, 36.3 billion. And we're going to check out the current results. I always do my favorite session, which is Burn Baby Burn on Axion. So we're going to check that out for sure. And 1 hour, 1 minute ago, we had the latest burn, 35.8 million. So we're going to go report that in the Discord, which I love doing, as you guys know, because that means that there's less Axion on the market over time. And so that's very exciting. Let's just jump over to Discord. We're going to jump down from Warp now to Axion. And here we are. So we're going to go over there, and we're going to paste this in. Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn. And we're going to paste that. And we're going to push the capitalization and punch that. And say total burn now. Total burn now. Let's have a look here. Total burn is 36. I'm going to copy that in as well. And bam. Let us go and put that in. And we're going to paste that. And bam. All right. So Solix, are you ready? Are you ready, Solix, in the house? Let me see if Solix is ready, because I got to jump on here. Crypto Jack 3's in the house. Good to see you, Crypto Jack. Nice. Let's ready. We're going to punch this Solix and see if Solix is around. Bam. All right. First one to put the fire on. And fire there. We got to go to fire. It took ages for me to do that. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if we smash that fire. And let's get in the house there. We've got to get some cool ones. We're going to do the fire. Let's do a bit of this. Bit of nudity. That's unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes. Bam on there. So nice. Oh, Solix is in the house. You came in a little bit late there, Solix, but you got there in the end. Nice. And of course, we're going to put some fire on that. Nice one on that. We might as well put some solar on there. What else we got? The OGs. Yeah. All right. So very cool on that. Right. So that's going pretty good on the burn. And that is the key result. We love that, because burn's taking Axion off the market, and that supports the long-term fundamentals for Axion. Very, very cool. All right, so looking good, folks. Let's check out the Axion price. Obviously, Axion, some Axion holders, of course, have sold Axion to go into Warp. So we've seen a little bit of a sell-off in Axion as people try to sell Axion to go into Warp. Quite a few of those people have said that they're going to try and take some profits from Warp and then buy back the Axion bags and more. So we'll watch out for that to play out too. Some people did take the sell-off as an opportunity. So we've got some sell-offs going on here and here as well. So some people took those opportunities and they bought back Axion at the moment. So definitely some opportunities. The green, we've got the DMI, the green, the buyers are in control, but the sellers are coming up here with these last couple of sales. So we were getting some nice buys. We've got the volume there. I was at 6,500 in buy. That was net buy, I guess, as you want to call it. And of course, we had some sells here as people are selling some Axion to go buy some Warp bonds. Just the way it goes, we were expecting that. And of course, we've got a bit of room there. So let's have a look at the daily candles. We'll get into that. And I'm going to jump back into the chat there. So let's have a look at dailies. We've got an arc diagram. So this is looking like an arc at the moment. I don't know if I've got this. I haven't got that at the moment. So we've got a nice arc coming in here. So the rate of decline has decreased. Obviously, Axion had a lot of supply when we originally came in. We had a big payday in October, and we've had to absorb that through tokenomic changes but it's starting to lessen, I would hope. And of course, we've had the markets pull back recently. Axion is paired with Ethereum, so it does, because it's bonded, has bonded liquidity, does move up and down with the market for that as well. So cool. Looks like and obviously we've just had the Warp launch, so just absorbing that as well. So it actually is an awesome time, quadruple 04, to pick up huge bags of Axion at the moment. So there we are. Let's have a look at the DMIs. You've still got the sellers, obviously, with the Warp, people selling into Warp, and of course the buyers curves down here. But we've got plenty of room in the RSI whenever Axion decides to move up. I think there's a couple of forces coming up that will help Axion move up, and of course I think that's related to a Pulsechain and Hex. I think it's related to Warp, and also I think it's possibly related to potential war chest. So we'll see whether that plays out in time. Those are my speculations. So there we are. I thought I'd pump those out. The total liquidity, $182,900 at the moment in there, and daily volume, 16,500. So just tracking along. That's pretty standard for Axion these days. But once again, that can turn around pretty fast with the new investors coming in. And that burn is definitely taking more Axion off the market. So that tokenomics is pretty sweet. Now, the team is looking at getting a vote out to move the tokenomics from 55% buybacks and burns to 70%. And I think that's kind of the sweet spot. So I do like that direction. I think that's probably a good place to have it for a while at least. Doesn't have to be indefinite, but for a while. And I think that would probably help a lot with the price support as well, as new investors are coming on through marketing. So very cool. Like I say, there's big launches coming, potentially a huge household name. That would be a major thing, as well as more targeting. The gorillas are getting out there, doing an awesome job on Twitter. Obviously, YouTubers are starting to ramp up into the new year. Big shout out to Crypto Casino, of course, going good. So lots of stuff happening. Let's get into Marcus says, do you think team will be able to take this project Axion, some hype and some more adoption, because we need the price to go up too? That's true. I think there'll be probably a bit of a cycle around there. It is a part of a broader picture. So we'll see how that plays out. Have reasonable amount of confidence. Prana says they are using a sell tax and Warp. Yeah, I like that. So that's also something that's being floated for Axion. So we may see that come into play as well. We'll see how the team votes for that. It'll be a more modest tax, probably maybe 4% rather than 5%. We'll see. It's got to go to the community vote, of course, through the DAO. Prana says they can bring that over to Axion as a test experience to try. Yeah. So typically they do it for like 14 days, 15 days. So that could be tested out. So nice. Yep, I think they could implement those taxes. Yeah, so it's something definitely under consideration, I would say. They're definitely going on the Axion Discord. So if we go back to the Axion Discord, let's jump back here. We've definitely, the last update and the announcements was about that. So if we jump back over to here, let's jump up here. Oh no, the second to last announcement. The last announcement was about the Warp, winning the Warp stuff or something. The Warp stuff there. Let's go back here. Tokenomic simulation. So this was the last ones. The major things discussed were the following ideas at the town hall: potential implementation of a 4% sales tax, 2% is burned, 2% is reflected in stakers' interest. This 2% could actually reduce total supply around 20% over time, which is pretty powerful. So I like the modeling that's been done by Pullen and the team. Further simulations to be done first, and changing accelerator settings from 55% buy and burn down to 70%, up to 70%. That would reduce the Bitcoin from 30 to 15. So it's still unclear how long that would be, whether that's a more permanent solution or something that goes on a cycle. So we'll see how that goes up. But it looks like we're going to have a new the DAO's voting system be put back up. So it's pretty cool. And of course, Dead Poet's back in the house. Great to see Dead Poet. Big shout out. Missed that guy. It's been a while. It's good to see Dead Poet in the house. Dear Axionauts, join the Social Gorillas on Twitter today for some raids. So definitely back on there. Great to see Dead Poet. And of course, the Warp Starship parts were also sent out back on the 26th. So very, very cool. So you can actually see your parts there if you've got it there under the hidden tab. So you just go to your hidden tab on OpenSea. If you've got one of those, you will definitely have them there. The winners of Axion Starships will get their ships sent out to them after launch. Warp is launching already. Of course, it's launched already. Love this artwork too with the Axion blue. It looks pretty badass. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the chat. That's pretty awesome. Look at that. That looks so good. Oh my gosh, it looks great. That blue looks so authentic. Some really nice stuff there by Joel. Very, very cool. I think it's by Joel who's doing the artwork there. Cool. So I've got a yawn face on there, but that's pretty funny there. All right, so let's have a look at the we're going to go, no, we're going to go Axion Twitter, see what's been sent out today. So Axion sent out, when particles collide, you get free Bitcoin. Anytime you buy Axion and Accelerator, you will get a particle NFT, and that's a huge draw. The NFTs contain particles that can multiply you Axion. You're bought up into 10x, so very, very cool. So for those that you don't, Axion is in physics, it's like a subatomic particle. They think it potentially makes up some of the mass of dark matter. So it makes Axion pretty badass. That's why I think maybe Axion should come up with a dark matter product, and that'd be pretty cool. And that would look pretty visually pretty neat. Even though it's dark matter, they could make that look pretty funky, I thought. The world will continue to experience Bitcoin adoption, and Axion will help them do it, because obviously if you stake Axion, you do earn Bitcoin dividends every day, in real time. As people buy and stake, 30% or 30% at the moment goes and buys wrap Bitcoin and gives dividends to you in wrap Bitcoin in real time. As they go in, that will get dripped to your wallet. So it's pretty nice. So obviously the bigger, the more people that onboard, the faster that will happen. And then supply will dry up even faster on top of the buy and burn. The more investors that come in. It's kind of every project's got the same issue, getting that circulating supply down, and of course getting new investors in to get that, help make that happen. So pretty cool. So there's a couple other stuff there. Nice. And of course, congratulations to Axion official YouTube. Got over 2,000 subscribers. I think that was yesterday. Very, very cool. Now they do have a really good video that's gone viral on using your wallets and security. So I think it was the Ledger video they had, and that's been gone viral. Man, that's a huge hats off to the team. Over 2,000, very, very nice. So congratulations. Prana says, I think they want the snapshot voting system up and running and then the vote is out. Yeah, I think that's the case too. CryptoJack says, thanks for the update, Superman. Lick that like and subscribe, Axion. Nice one, CryptoJax. And CryptoJax always puts the lick, the like, and subscribe. I think that's to get me to say it, right? So the CryptoJax, very cool. And Solix says 2% tax if you unstake 3 hours after staking. Right. Yeah, that'd be cool too. And for the Warp project. Oh, right, 2%. Yeah, that is true on the Warp project. You do get that if we jump back. Staking there, yeah. So you got to prove the token, but there's a little line here that says you get a 2% tax if you unstake before 3 hours. B says, yeah, 70, 15, 15 is the best interest of everyone involved. I think so too. If the price moves by controlling inflation, we'll get more wrap Bitcoin dividends as a result. Absolutely, B. You said it as so concisely. That is true. So obviously we get the price support, price goes going up, you get more Bitcoin dividends. Pretty much, it's cool. That's one of the key factors. Jaffa says, hello, I've invested 6K a long time ago, and I'm not making almost nothing from my 5 for 5 stakes. Why? Probably because there's a lot more shares now in the house. And also the wrap Bitcoin divs has been reduced over time. Those are the two biggest things there, Jaffa. And I think the average that we've been selling out through the accelerator, or at least I don't know about the last week or two, but the average was about 20,000 going through the accelerator. So those three things are probably big things there. If you've got more questions about that, Jaffa, I would, which is actually higher because I think they budgeted 12,000 and they've been getting about 20,000 through the accelerator on average. That's an average. So that includes high days and low days. I think those are probably the big three. More investors, higher shares, and of course, remember back in the day, there was a lot of share promotions, share bonuses, and stuff like that. So a lot of that's had an impact, and the teams had to change the tokenomics because they inherited tokenomics, which was not the greatest at the beginning, and they've had to refine it now. And I think they're getting almost to the sweet spot with the move to 70, 15, 15. I think that's pretty much close to the sweet spot. And then it's about just onboarding more people. And with you onboard more people, then you get your APY becomes more real. So up to 47%, that's when you start getting that a higher APY, and that's more competitive versus some other projects out there which are offering different types of APY. But remember, with the different type high APY, you're getting a lot more risk in the program too, right? So it's your risk return trade-off. But definitely, if you've got any more questions, Jaffa, get into Discord, ask Pullen, the marketing director. He's got lots of tokenomics around that, but that's pretty much I think a pretty good summary on that. B says, once Axion is a household name, then bump up the dividends big time. Yeah. So I think the big thing coming forward is that Pullen's talked about. He's got an investor series coming up on videos. I think 10 videos on that. They'll be on Axion Official. There's two launch partners, one potentially household name that could be huge for Axion if it's played out right. So if it's played out right, that could be really good. And of course, they've got their own base of people that they'll be promoting to as well. So that would benefit Axion directly if they launch through Axion. So there's lots of cool stuff like that. There's a couple of other things. The website's getting redone. updated and refreshed, and I think that's going to be great. And there's one other thing too that I just can't think of at the moment that they're doing as well. This is in the near term, so looking forward to that. All right, we're coming up on an hour, folks. I think that's a pretty good wrap up of Warp, which is day 2, and which is halfway through day 2, and of course Axion's ecosystem as well. So nice. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and of course I'll see you next time. I'll be in Discord, of course, both in Axion and in Warp, so you can hit me up there if you have any more questions. Obviously, if you're watching after the live stream, write up any comments you have, and we'll hit back on that one. I can touch base with you on that. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let me just respite that one. Solix says CIA or CIA. I thought you'd already gone, Solix. I thought you'd already gone, but great to see you in the house again. Solix is pretty cool. All right, so thanks for watching. I'm going to put that. See you all, says Solix, and thanks for watching. I'm going to post some emojis here. Let us post some of these. And bam, 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 bam. Hey, bam, bam. If you're still there, hey, bam, bam. Good to see you, as always. So nice. Actually, I've got to push the button on this one. Let me just let me go into there. There we are. Cool. All right, take care. See you next time. An hour. That was pretty good, I think. So I'll see you in Discord. Bye for now.